Hi everyone, it's Jenny. Welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. So I am coming on. My aim today is really to do a quick card, if that's possible for me. So I'm just going to take that pink mat out of the way and keep my green one on there. And I'm wanting to use up my scraps. So I've got a card, just a piece of like lilac card stock, which is 5 1/4 by 5 1/4. I'm going to put a black layer, just going to mass it with a piece of black. So I'm just going to cut this 5 and I'm just going to go 5, just so that there's a tiny outline on it, so that you can see. That should be 5. There we go. Have a slight little border on it, and I'm going to use some scraps. So I'm going to just get my tiny little bits out because that's what I want to use. The bigger pieces I'll keep to the side. Let me just quickly, that's a bit thin, I don't want that. I don't want that piece. That says happy birthday, happy Christmas. Don't need that. Could use that. Those 2 bits, no. So let me just put those bigger bits out the way, because it's these smaller bits is what I'm interested in. Not necessarily all of these pieces, because I could use those for something else. So let's see what we're left with. Right, those definitely. Now all these strips I'll keep to the side because I'll use them for something else. I can hear you saying, what on earth are you keeping those bits for, Jenny? Might use that, might use that. I'll definitely use some of these bits. That I really want to just get rid of these tiny little bits that we've got going on here. That's a strip. Let's get that. I don't know what that blue bit's doing in there. That's in the purple. Don't need those bits. Could use those. Not sure why I kept that tiny little piece. Could use that. Could use that. Could use that. There we go. Right. So my idea is I am just going to, I think I've got enough pieces here, is have this as my base, and then I'm literally going to cut down some pieces. Right, what's that for? So we'll have that by 2 by 2. That again is, that's 6. So if I have that by 3 and then cut that in half, how much is that? That's just, so if I have, no, let's not do that with that bit because it's not going to work. How wide is that piece? 1 1/2. And that is 3 1/2. So if I cut that down to 3, I might use that piece and then cut that to 1 1/2, and then literally go from corner to corner like that. And then I can try and fit that in somehow with my bits. Right, so we've got that piece there. We've got that piece there. My aim is to just put it on the black paper, but leave a tiny gap between each piece. Is that going to be fitting? I think the best thing to do is get my glue out and start sticking it down so that I know where I'm going, because otherwise I'll get in a bit of a mess. That's double-sided and it's the same both sides. So yeah, my aim is just to use up these scraps and have a tiny black border between each piece, and then that's going to be my card topper. Okay, so I can put those in. Now I cut a piece off there, that'll give me a border there. And again, it's just a good way of using up your scrap. Get my cloth. That's got a bit of spillage, but that'll dry clear anyway, so that's fine. There we go. Okay, and then we're going to want a piece to fit in the middle. So I probably want to take that much off, about there. And then I want a tiny piece off the edge because it's just a bit too wide. I'll just take that off. And then that piece can go there. Might be better using tape on this. And that can go there, like so. There we go. Right. Then we've got, there's no rhyme or reason to this at all. I'm going to do those two little bits up the top there so that I can see what I've got left. That one can go in there. Leave a tiny little gap in between those two, like so. Then we've got a tiny little bit here. So let's have a look. We want a tiny piece. Is that going to be too wide still? Yeah, needs to be a bit thinner. Tiny bit off that. Because that will go in there. And then we probably want it to about there. I'm just marking this by eye. That's fine. Actually, I'm going to have that side because that side looks prettier. And then that's just going to go in there. Just straighten that up a bit. There we go. Okay, and then we've got this piece here. That's not going to be big enough, is it? I'm wondering if I've got a piece of... Oh, there's a piece of card there. Right, let's cut this out. I've used a bit then, haven't I? Now, have I done that too wide? No, that's perfect. So that's going to be about there. There we go. Perfect. And then we've got a little black border all the way around. We've used a few bits of our scrap then, haven't we? And then that's going to go down there. And then I'm just going to go off because I forgot to pick up my sentiment. I've got one sentiment to go in the middle. So wait a moment and I'll be right back. Right, I'm back. Found it. I knew I'd put it somewhere. So a little while ago I did a masterboard just using loads of scrap papers, and then I cut them, used the die cut to cut them out. You can see there's sort of a different colour there. There was a sort of a lilac glitter paper there. It was I used washi tapes, loads of washi tapes on a masterboard to use them up, and then I just cut this just for you out with my die. And I'm just going to keep it simple, and I'm just going to have one of those on the front of the card. And then just for embellishments, I've got these gorgeous little purple flowers which I'm going to use. So I'm literally going to stick the black cardstock onto the lilac. There's going to be a small border around the edge. Let me just get that straight, like so. Just pat that down. There we go. And then I'm literally going to, I've just noticed that little piece didn't come out, so let's just pop that out the way. There we go. Right, let me use my tweezers so I can just get a bit of glue on here. Just pop some here, there and everywhere. That should stick down okay, right. And then I'm just going to pop that there where it lands. There we go, just for you. And then I'm just going to have a little selection of these tiny little flowers, and they're gorgeous. They've got glitter on, I don't know if you can see, and they've got little wooden elements into the middle. I'm just going to have 3, I think. So I've got a glittery one, a plain one, and a darker one. So they're all slightly different. So let me just pop a tiny bit of glue on the bottom of each one of these and pop those down, and it's going to be as simple as that. My aim for the next few cards that I make is going to be under 15 minutes, if I can do it. There we go. That is very simple, just using up some scraps. I'm hoping I've got to, I think this is 11 minutes that's taken me. So yeah, just a way of using up some scraps. Quick card just for you. So hope you enjoyed that, and thanks for watching. If you like it, please hit that button. And if you're not subscribed to my channel and you've come across me, then please do and come along for the journey. That would be great. And take care everyone, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.